Chapter 492, Wolverine vs Sabretooth. It starts in the middle of the city. Nico was on a skyscraper and he was fighting Toad. Toad, I just want to thank you for destroying the Sentinels. Now me and my teammates in the Brotherhood of Mutants won't be threatened by them anymore. Nico laughs bitterly. We didn't do any of that for you. You don't deserve my mercy after what you and your buddies did and continue to do to me and my friends. Unlike you, I believe that all life, mutant or human, is considered precious. Toad, I don't know what to say, man. For the record, I'm sorry if my Legion of Doom teammates hurt you. We never really meant to hurt you guys. Nico, you're sorry? You didn't mean to? All you and your friends have done for months is deliberately try and kill my friends and family. Your friend Scarecrow almost destroyed Lori by exposing her to fear gas and making her think that her siblings hated her. Your other teammate Parasite almost killed Superman by nearly draining him of his powers. And the cherry on top was when your buddies Steve, Laura, and Max manipulating Solomon Grundy and tried to kill Velma, Fred, and Daphne, who are 3 civilians. Toad, they're not civilians, dude. They're just as guilty as the rest of you. Nico loses it. They were unarmed. Nico pins Toad down and viciously punch him at least 10 times. Nico then grabbed Toad's tongue and electrocuted him with Electro's powers. By the time he was done, he was badly beat up. Nico calms down. They were unarmed. But you scumbags didn't care. All you cared about was the gold. Toad, you had no right to. Nico, get out. Your time of terrorizing the X-Men is over. Cheetah tried to flee the country to avoid our wrath. If I were you, I'd follow her example. Toad, oh, come in. Nico, let me be abundantly clear. The only reason you aren't dead is because I'm holding back. But I won't lenient next time. If I ever see you again, I don't think I'll be able to stop myself. I'm not sure if I'll even try. You and your friends tried to kill several civilians. We've killed people for much less. Get out of my sight. Toad ran like a frightening chicken. Nico came home and he was clapping his hands. We were having lunch and a nice talk. Nico, I'm home. Me, hey Nico. He sat down at the table. Nico just had to stop another mutant attack. I'm glad you're not being as strict to Jackie anymore, Uncle. Uncle smiles. Thank you, Nico. Uncle knows that Uncle can be harsh to Jackie at times. But that's only because I care about him and the rest of my family. Taru, even me. Uncle, yes. Even you, Taru. Static, I can understand that. At least you're not as bad as Truffles. Me, so Logan, if I may ask. Wolverine, what is it? JD. Me, what was your life like when you were younger? Wolverine, well, my life hasn't always been a pleasant one. My real name is James Howlett. But everyone called me Jimmy back then. I now go by Logan. James Jimmy Howlett was born in 1832 in what would later be known as the Northwest Territories of Canada. In 1845, James lay sick in his bed while Victor, who was currently visiting him, kept him company as James' father arrived to check in on him. A few moments later, Victor's father, and John's groundskeeper, Thomas Logan, who was also having an affair with John Howlett's wife, entered the Howlett home, drunk, looking for James' mother Elizabeth Howlett, and had a confrontation with John, who headed downstairs to settle a dispute with Victor's father, which had resulted in Thomas shooting Elizabeth's husband. James then heard gunfire during a dispute at his father's estate, and went to investigate, finding him dead, as he was shot by Thomas. It was under this grief-stricken incident that, in an act of vengeance, James' mutation began to manifest as he sprout bone claws, slowly emerging from his fists and knuckles. In a wild rage, James screamed in anger and fury and impaled Thomas using his claws. However, while impaling Thomas with his newly discovered bone claws, before dying, Thomas revealed that John wasn't James' real father. Much to James' horror, with his dying breath, Thomas revealed that he was James' true father by telling him he is also his son. After Thomas died, Elizabeth, horrified by James' mutation, cast her son out by calling him a freak as she questioned James as to what he was. Confused about what was happening to him, James fled and ran into the woods, with Victor following behind him. After running away, Victor, who was also a mutant, caught up and overtook James. Victor said that they were brothers and vowed to stick together and that they would look after each other no matter what, eventually leading them to a life of rage and violence. As Victor was truly his own family, as they shared a father, James started going by the name Logan. 1. Over the next 128 years, as the two boys grew into men, Logan and Victor fought bravely together as soldiers for the United States in numerous wars. The wars the two brothers participated in throughout their years together included the American Civil War, World War I, on the Western Front, World War II, both participating in the D-Day invasion, and the Vietnam War using their mutant powers. However, Victor grew increasingly violent and uncontrollable as time passed. Whoa. That's amazing and horrible at the same time. Lainey, it sure is. That would make you almost 200 years old. Amazing. Yeah. Wolverine, that's right. My past is a dark one, but I managed to learn from it and move on. That's great, Logan. Lisa, indeed. JD. I've been wanting to ask you this for a while. What's up, Lisa? Lisa, how did Carmen get reunited with Maria? That is a reunion we'll never forget. It was back when we reunited Maria with her mother Katie. Flashback. Narrating. It was when we were having a nice talk with Katie about everything that went down because of the Big Bang. Carmen just came home from school. The door opened and in came Carmen. Carmen, hey mom, I'm home. Katie, hey Carmen, how was your day? Carmen, I helped Static stop a bank robbery in progress. Way to go. Carmen saw me and my friends and was ecstatic. Carmen, no way. JD. Knudsen? This is awesome. You're one of my heroes. I'm glad you look up to me. Carmen, you guys are awesome. We introduced ourselves and Carmen then saw Maria. Carmen, gasps in shock. Maria? Is that really you? Maria, it sure is, little sis. I'm back and I'm back to my old self. Carmen got up and ran to her. Carmen, Maria. They hugged for the first time in 2 years. Carmen, crying, I missed you so much, sis. Maria, me too, Carmen. I missed you too. Carmen, I thought I lost you after the Big Bang. Maria, I'm still here, but thanks to JD and his friends I'm back to my old self. I have my humanity back. I still have my water powers, but I'm back to normal. Carmen, sis, promise me you'll never leave me again. Maria, I promise, sis. It was a very touching reunion. We talked about all kinds of things and some of our adventures. Flashback ends. Carmen was so happy to see her big sis and it was a big reunion. Lincoln, I remember. We were there. Lynn, that was so sweet, guys. Lisa, indeed. Normally I don't do emotions like this, but bursts into tears. Lainey comforted her. Lainey, let it all out, Lisa. Let it all out. Wolverine, that was a touching moment. It sure is. The door opened and in came Maria, Carmen, Liam, and William, and they had some things. Maria, hey guys. Look what we got at the pet shop. We bought 3 goldfish. Their names are Lolita, Fish, and Chips. Wow. Those are adorable, Maria. Carmen, I've always wanted to own a couple of goldfish. Liam, southern accent, you and me both fired up. Carmen, please don't call me that, Liam. Liam, It's my nickname for you, dumpling. Carmen, ah. That's really sweet. Me, it sure is. Maria, Carmen, Liam, and William went up to Maria's room to set everything up. Me, but Logan, I have so many questions I want to ask you. You've been through the American Civil War, right? Wolverine, I sure have. It was a dark time for me. But we helped the Union win the war. Me, that's amazing. My ancestral uncle Charles Sumner was President Abraham Lincoln's best friend, and he helped him during the darkest times of the war. He was senator for Massachusetts back then. Lincoln, oh wow. I didn't know he was your Uncle JD. Me, he's my ancestral Uncle Lincoln. Lainey, Jesse told us a lot about him. He was assaulted by Senator Preston Brooks of South Carolina. Me, that's right. It was an event called the Caning of Charles Sumner, and it happened back on May 22, 1856. Charles Sumner was a strong abolitionist, and he was against the full extent of slavery. Preston Brooks, however, believed that all slaves should remain as slaves. Preston assaulted him in the Senate, and it was fierce. He almost killed him. They gasped. Lana, that is horrible. Lola, so that's how you know so much about politics. Me, not to brag, but yes. Lisa, assaulting a congressman on the United States Senate is considered the same as the crime of murder in terms of law, and carries a maximum sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. Me, that's right, Lisa. That's today's standards. But back then in 1856 he only paid $300 in fines and was never put in prison for it. But he lost his reputation because of it, and it led to arguments between the North and the South. Lincoln, that's awful. Me, yeah. It was. The alarm sounded and we rushed to the computer. We found out that Sabretooth is causing mayhem in the city square. Wolverine, Sabretooth. Lainey, that big guy is Sabretooth? Me, that's him. His real name is Victor Creed, and he and Wolverine were like brothers. Half-brothers to be exact. Wolverine, that's right. Victor Creed was born in the mid-late 1820s in what would later be known as the Northwest Territories of Canada, British North America. Eventually, his father, Thomas Logan, had another son, named James Howlett, with a woman named Elizabeth Howlett. One night in 1845, Victor visited his younger half-brother, James, who was sick in bed. Victor, while filing his abnormally long fingernails with a knife, noted that James is always sick. James then said Victor was sick when he was his age. Just then, James' father, John Howlett, arrived to check in on him, and was greeted by Victor, who quickly stood up with his hands behind his back, to hide his fingernails and knife, and John greeted him back. John didn't realize that Victor was still at the house, and Victor explained he was just keeping James company, hoping that's okay. And John says that Victor was very kind for doing so. Victor observed John tending to James, who was assured by John that his cold is just a mild fever but James will pull through, and James said that John always says that. After John asked if James has been taking his medicine, Victor's father and John's groundskeeper, Thomas, who was either having an affair with or had raped John Howlett's wife, entered the Howlett home, drunk, looking for James' mother, Elizabeth. John realized that Victor's father was drunk again and suggested that Victor go help his father home. But Victor informed John that it wasn't his name Thomas was calling. John then headed downstairs to settle a dispute with Victor's father, and James called out to him, but John told James to stay where he is, with Victor following behind John. James heard gunfire at his father's estate, and went to investigate only to find his father shot by Thomas. After James tended to John, Thomas tries to explain to James the truth about this situation, but John's wife, Elizabeth, begged Thomas not to tell James, but Thomas said that he needs James to know, and no more lies. Under this grief-stricken incident, in an act of vengeance, James' mutation began to manifest as he sprout bone claws, slowly emerging from his fists and knuckles, which Elizabeth, Thomas, and Victor witnessed. In a wild rage, James screamed in anger and ran towards Thomas, who tries to stop James by gunning him down with his rifle, but is stopped by Elizabeth. Soon after, James impaled Thomas using his newly sprung claws, much to everyone's surprise. However, while impaling Thomas with his newly discovered bone claws, Thomas revealed that John wasn't James' real father. Much to James' horror, with his dying breath, Thomas revealed that he was James' true father by calling him his son. After Thomas died, Elizabeth, horrified by James' mutation, questioned James as to what he was. Confused about what was happening to him, James fled and ran into the woods, with Victor following behind him. Victor caught up and overtook James, who frantically said he didn't mean to kill Thomas, but Victor said yes you did. He deserved it, and you gave it to him. Victor told James that they were brothers, asking if James realized that, and brothers to protect each other. Victor told James that they have to be hard enough so nothing can touch them. James wanted to go home, but Victor said that they can't and they have to stick together no matter what, and take care of anyone who gets in their way. Victor asked his younger brother if he can do that, and James nodded in agreement. The two brothers noticed a search party looking for them, and Victor asked if James can run, which James clarified. As Victor and James run into the woods, Victor tells James keep running and to not look back. Over the next 128 years, as the two boys grew into men, James and Victor fought bravely together as Canadian mercenaries for the United States in numerous wars. The wars the two brothers participated in many wars throughout their years together, including the American Civil War, aiding President Lincoln and General Grant on the Union side, World War I, on the Western Front, World War II, both participating in the D-Day invasion, and the Vietnam War using their mutant powers. However, Victor grew increasingly violent and uncontrolled as time passed. I can't believe he became like this. What a monster. Lincoln, if he has the same powers as Wolverine then he will be difficult to kill. You're right, Lincoln. Our only available option is total obliteration. But let's try and reason with him, and if that doesn't work then we'll kill him. Lincoln, Laney, Gambit, Kraven, Cheetah, Wolverine, you all come with me. Let's go. We set out for the heart of the city. Sabretooth was causing a lot of destruction and slashing at people. I swooped in and kicked him in the face and he crashed into a car and it exploded. Kaboom. He got up out of the rubble and his accelerated healing made him good as new. Victor Creed aka Sabretooth, I presume? Sabretooth, that's right. The famous J.D. Knudsen and his friends. Logan. How are you? Wolverine, been doing fine and now you will die. But I'm going to give you this one chance. Sabretooth, what is it? Wolverine, Victor, I'm going to give you one last chance. Just give this up. You know all the wrong things you've done. You can just end this now by surrendering and going to prison. Maybe you'll get a chance at redemption when you get locked up. But nothing that you are doing right now is good. But there's a better way. You just have to let go. Sabretooth starts to cry. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have. Please forgive me. Wolverine, it's okay, Victor. It's okay. You're okay now. You've just got to. Sabretooth slashes him in the shoulder. Sabretooth stops crying and laughs maniacally. You stupid idiot. Did you really believe you would convince me so easily that I did the wrong thing? True, I have done evil things. But I don't regret any of them. You monster. We gave you this chance to redeem yourself and this is how you repay us? No heart at all. Come on guys. Let's waste this monster. Me and Laney go Super Angel 3. Lincoln, I'm going Ghost. Lincoln became Lincoln Phantom and he had a new wardrobe change. He had a black and orange bodysuit with the logo LP on his chest. Love the new look, Lincoln. Lincoln, thanks. Lenny designed it for me. Lenny sure is a fashion genius. She sure is. Let's get him. We went at him with blazing speed and I punch him in the face. Lincoln fired a blast of lightning and an ecto-energy ray at him and burned him bad. Gambit threw a bunch of card bombs at him and they exploded and burned him. Laney fired blasts of fire at him and burned him. Cheetah, let's use our combo Wolverine. Wolverine, you got it. They went at Sabretooth at a blazing speed and had their claws ready. Cheetah and Wolverine, super viciousness slash. They slashed him with 1,000,000 slashes and Sabretooth was cut up bad. Gambit, oh yeah. That was awesome. Let's use our combo Kraven. Kraven, Russian accent, you got it comrade Gambit. Gambit threw some card bombs and Kraven fired his poison darts. Gambit and Kraven, card of the jungle. The darts fused into the cards and they had purple fire instead of red. They exploded when they hit Sabretooth and burned his eyes, blinding him. Laney restrained him with her plant powers. Wolverine, to Sabretooth the first few times we fought, Creed, I made a promise. I told you that I would kill you one day. I want you to know. Stab Sabretooth through the chest with his claws, that I'm a man of my word. Sabretooth, weakly S son of a BB. Wolverine, I think I feel your spine, Victor. Funny, I didn't think you had one. Pulls out his claws and Sabretooth falls to the floor dead. Me, this time you will never return. I fired an energy blast and completely obliterated him in an instant. Me, enjoy hell you monster. Sabretooth's spirit appeared. Nicole, off screen, and you will never be welcome here. She pulled out the Book of Vile Darkness. Nicole, chants an incantation, Aldruan in Thranal Vasalun Lyris Nor. The book fired a ceiling beam and Sabretooth was being pulled into it. Sabretooth, no. He grabbed Wolverine's legs and was pulling him in with him. Sabretooth, I won't go alone. Me, come on. We grabbed Wolverine's arms and pull and it was a big struggle. Me, let him go. Lincoln fired a blast of lightning and it made Sabretooth let him go. Sabretooth, damn you JD. He was gone forever. Me, that takes our of that. Let's go after Weapon X and put a stop to them. Wolverine, I know where they're at. They're in guys didn't have to come with me, you know. Kraven, last time I checked, it was not a crime to help a comrade in need. Gambit, you and I've been to Stryker's place, Logan. It's only fair that I go back with you there again. Cheetah, plus, I've been wanting to show Sabretooth who has the sharpest claws. We had Wolverine direct us in the X-Jet and it was in Canada. We went in and raided the whole place and arrested everyone there. We also freed all the captured mutants and got them back to their families. We went back and reported everything. The nightmare was over for Wolverine. The end. Another fanfiction complete. Sabretooth was the most enigmatic of the X-Men villains. This is not a saga that I'm starting. Nico-chan 11 gave me the ideas for this one. Thanks for that man as always. Let me know what you all think. See you all next time.